Let's have a conversation. Hey y'all, it's me, Chris, and I want to have a conversation on passing as my assigned gender. This topic was brought up by Celeste, who is a great YouTuber. I've watched their videos. They are amazing. They talk about a bunch of stuff, and yeah, this is a video response to them. So let's go. When we talk about passing, we usually talk about a trans person passing as their non-assigned gender, but Celeste, in her video, where I'll link below, talks about passing as your assigned gender. So my experience with that is I am a female sex-born individual, and I don't get passed as my assigned gender. From about 0 to 19, I always got passed as a female, but people would see me as a tomboy. I never wore dresses. I only wore skirts or like dresses when I went clubbing when I was 18 to 20-ish, and I only wore dresses when it was like an occasion, like my high school graduation or so on and so forth, like special occasions like that. But it was never enforced on me. Like my parents never said, you have to wear a dress. It was always brought up upon myself. Video on that later. I tend to do that a lot. But when I hit about 21-ish, I got passed as a male a lot. And now that I'm 27, I get passed as male more exclusively. Like, there isn't a day that goes by that I do not get passed as male. And which is interesting because I'm not on any hormones, I'm not taking any blockers or anything like that. I'm just strictly, this is me. But I do get passed as male often, and so much so that it becomes an issue, not for me, but for people around me, friends and family. And the bigger issue that I don't pass is in bathrooms, multi-stall bathrooms, which I use the female restrooms. Video on that later. So do I get anxiety from this? A bit. I used to a lot when it was first happening on the regular basis. I would feel like I'm doing women wrong, and at the point of time I knew that I wasn't man, and I didn't know the term non-binary, so it did bother me, and I was like, what am I doing wrong as a woman? I don't like to dress up in dresses, but do I have to be perceived as a woman? And so yeah, that bothered me a lot. But now, as time gone on and I've gotten more comfortable in what I wear and my expression, and especially with the title that I have, I do not get bothered at all. Pronouns don't mean anything to me. I go by they, them when asked, but if I get called he or she, like, pronouns are just a thing that I don't really care. And so the thing that bothers me most, though, is when other people take offense. And which is kind of hilarious when I talk to people and they see me as a woman, but I tell them that I pass as male all the time to the people I don't know. I remember exclusively at the work that I used to work at 3 years ago, where they were like, oh, but you're not one of those individuals who get passed as male. You're a cool lesbian, as they put it. Yeah. And so... And I told them, I was like, no, like I get read as male all the time, and it shocked them because they saw me at work, and yeah, it was interesting because I had that dynamic too of like friends and family recognizing me as female, but strangers don't. And that brought a little bit anxiety when I was younger, but now I'm good with it. Like, I really don't care. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting and how society perceives man and woman, male, female, but I don't get a lot of the what are they. I usually get male, like exclusively, like to the point where there's an instance recently that I was going through a line and all the females I noticed got walked through, but when it came to me, I had to get the pat down. And also within a last year-ish, I was in line for a bar club thing, and it was ladies' night, so ladies got in for free. And then one of the bouncers were like, oh, it'll be $10. And the individual I was with just looked at him and looked at me, and I was like, okay, and then I kind of just walked through. Didn't really deal with it in the best of ways, but at that time I didn't feel like having a big conversation on, well, actually, no, I'm a woman, which is interesting because I pride myself in being non-binary at the time and now, but with those scenarios of like very binary ladies' night and with the individuals that I was with, they saw me as female sexed woman. So yeah, beyond that, I don't really have anything else to add to this conversation. I get read as male a lot, and it doesn't bother me. I'm trying to figure out if I like it or if it's because I feel like I'm like sticking it to the man and like, huh, joke's on you. I'm a female sex born without testosterone. But I don't know. I'm kind of like working through that, and I think that's okay. But yes, I would like to acknowledge those who struggle with that though, because it is, especially if you are, you know, not non-binary and you are female sex born, identifying as gender female, and then you get read as male because, you know, you're not doing women wrong. You are never doing women wrong. I promise you. So yeah, that was the conversation. And yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Yeah, do you get read as your assigned gender or do you not? How do you feel about that? Do you care? Do you not care? Does it bother you when people make a big deal out of it, like it does to me? Like personally, I don't care if strangers do it, but it bothers me when my friends or colleagues or whatever make a big deal out of it, because honestly, I know my gender expression and I'm like, I don't care. Also, do you ever feel like you're doing man wrong or women wrong or anything wrong? Because you're not. I promise. You're amazing and you're perfect, and society needs to change, and we're doing that one day at a time. Thank you. Bye. My hair is like all over the place. There's a cute puppy that just walked by and I want to pet it.